Hello Overseers, last episode we restructured our base and optimized energy orb spawns for better scalability. Now we're turning our attention to research. We're completely rebuilding our Inventor ant system to farm points straight from the Inventor towers, all while expanding onto the Polluted Island to harvest its endless glass reserves. Can we balance research and resource gathering to keep our colony thriving? Let's dive in and find out. Our first two trails are now collider ready. So where all the orbs are coming out of here and here, going into these colliders to make the highest level energy orbs. At some point, we want the same thing to happen on this side. So we'll reserve some space for colliders on this side. But let's ask ourselves, what's the next thing that we need? Obviously, we need to make princesses to make the gene cocoon, but that needs inventor ants. So that's going to be our focus. So the trail is going to look something like this. The ants that are coming out of here, or once we get to like stage 11 and get a bunch more ants, are gonna go over to here, right? And then they're going to get these flowers and they're gonna go through some sort of this collider trail, and then they're going to turn into inventor ants after they do their collider work. Because last time we did it, we didn't have any work for these ants to do, but now they can just collide orbs, right? All right, great. So then that gets us some of our stuff, and then we're going to get all our inventor ants. We need to turn some of them into inventor ants 1 because we still need inventor points, and we need inventor points 2. So we need to turn some of them into fancy ants. A fancy ant needs some ant from here, one of these iron workers, plus an LED to turn into a fancy ant. And preferably we want to give the fancy ant some work to do before we combine it into the level 2 thing. So we've got a plan. Let's start acting upon it. I kind of want to get rid of this stuff because I feel like these are going to be in the way. But let's figure out where to build stuff. Colliders, first of all. Where can colliders go? And I'm thinking up here because there's stuff everywhere in the way of everything. Because the inventors going down here would make sense because then we can make our princess ant somewhere there. There's stuff in the way over here too. Alright, well, we're going to have to build around this stuff in the way. So I'm going to plot out my collider trail first. We're not going to send them into the colliders because the reason being we don't have enough screws to actually get the colliders going. And also we have nothing really to do with all of the food. So I'm just going to get a placeholder collider trail going. We might end up moving this thing. So we'll placeholder it like something like this. Wait, this stuff is all useless now. Let me get rid of some of this junk. Gotten rid of all of that. Might get some digger ants to start helping us out as well. Get rid of some stuff. So I'm going to go all the way down to around where this stuff is, and then we'll just do our path on this right row, and then we'll put our colliders on either side of it. So there's going to be one set of colliders around here. We'll just do it, say, from here. Doesn't really matter where we put it. So this is quite a large number of flowers. I assume we're going to need the same amount of colliders at least. I think it's not as big as this patch, but I'm assuming we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 colliders. What is going on over here? Why are you guys having no things? All right, yeah, okay. We're depleting all the flowers here, which makes sense. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I wonder if we can get away with 8 colliders because it's a slightly smaller flower patch. No, let's just do 10 colliders. There's no point trying to make this stingy and then it's like slightly too small for us. It's going to be annoying to deal with. So I'm going to just place some placeholder colliders over here and then we're going to work from there. So say there's going to be, I'll just go from this one. So there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's from the second one down. 9. That's a little bit cutting it too close to the thing, isn't it? So we'll just go here. Still annoying that I have to build around this, so I guess we'll move some stuff around one day. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then there's a thing here. Okay, that's a little bit annoying to place. We might need to just mine out one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thinking, what if we utilize this area up the top then? If you're enjoying the video and you want to support DataEngineerPlays, don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. And if you have any feedback or suggestions, feel free to share them in the comment section. Let me just put down my 10 colliders and then I can see where to put them. 10 colliders is quite a big build, so it's a little bit irritating to put down. I wish I could just copy and paste this onto the other side. So we did our 10 colliders, say there, and then we did our energy trail. Like, how many tiles out do I need the trail from the colliders? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. Is it wide enough here? So I did like my trail around here. Oh, this should work. Even if it can't go up here, we can always do, because we don't need 10 more here, we can always have a little gap in the middle. So for example, we could do like 1, 2, 3. Oh god, I hate how this turns randomly. I'm trying to plot out my energy colliders. 4, and then we can do like 5, 6. Or we can go from this side. We can get something like this to work, right? Oh, we used up all our materials, that's fine. We need all these energy colliders one day. So they're gonna harvest their flowers from here, and then they're gonna pop over to this trail, do their energy orb collisions, and then they're gonna come back out, say this way, and then here we can do all our combining for our other stuff. So out of this trail is going to be worker ants. So our normal ants are gonna come in here, they're going to become workers, and then they're going to work this energy trail, and then from here they're going to be combined. Let me get that set up. Now get a foraging trail in here. We'll try to put some stockpiles evenly as possible. I think we've got some stockpiles here. So I'll probably put one like in the middle here, because this is like a huge bunch of flowers, right? Is that close enough? I don't think that's close enough. If I go any closer, it's going to kill the flowers. I might have to move the trail a little bit in. No, I think there's arrows in there. I can't really see. All right, there we go. I just pulled the trail a little bit out. Hopefully, we'll adjust that accordingly. And then we'll get another one somewhere. The other one can be like, so this is these flowers, and then the rest of these flowers can go like, say here. That looks like it's arrowed to the storage. All right, cool. So now we can send some ants over here. Let's have a look at our ant stuff. Yeah, I think this guy's grabbing stuff as fast as he can grab it. I don't think there's any spare larvae. So we'll send our ants this way, whatever's remaining. Let's just start with 5 or whatever. Like, this is just a test trail anyway. I'm going to get rid of this secondary trail for now because we're not using it and it's just confusing things. So get a counter gate out this way, and then we'll set this to, say, 5. That's all the ants that we have at the moment. And then we'll null trail that over to this side. Something like that. So we've got 5 ants on this trail. We'll just test it out. They're going to grab energy orbs. They're going to get old. And once they get old, we're going to get them to come out onto this trail. So where can we put an old gate? Let's have a look. Ideally somewhere like here before they pick up their next flower. Do it like right after you do the drop off. And then we can get an elder trail to go out somewhere. And then we need it to get it into a combiner. So we can probably put a combiner here somewhere. Not the most beautiful organized thing because these stupid things are still in the way. Maybe we can put the combiner something like this so it's a little bit out of the way. There's a clear path coming out in case I need trails going out this way. So we'll go here, get a hauling trail down here in case it needs to empty some stuff, and then we'll just get dividers into here and here. Fantastic. These stockpiles are obviously always going to be full for now. And then we'll just get our lovely trash can. Now, these are going to combine into our regular workers. These regular workers are then going to go distribute themselves amongst this trail. Might pause it while I do this. I haven't even done anything with my genes yet. I got no princess ant. I feel like I should make a princess ant manually, but that's fine. Whatever, we'll let things die. It's not hurting us. We've got plenty of every material ever, so it's fine. And we're stockpiling screws. I'm just gonna not worry about my ants dying. All right, so we've got our regular worker ants. They're on this trail. We might get them to go onto this part of the trail. And then as they get old, they're gonna go into some trail, right? Oh, well, that's gonna be set up there later. But for now, we'll just get an old gate out this way. That elder trail is going to look something like the one over here, how there's like a specific dedicated line for an elder trail. and then there's old gates coming out of each machine. But for now, we don't have that. So yeah, we don't have the screws to make the 3 billion slingers we need for this yet. So we'll just let them do their thing. So the elder trail, we're going to bring the elder trail out. Now they're going to be old ants that need to be recombined into inventor ants. Now there's going to be so many of these inventor ants, so we might end up recycling some of them, because what else are you going to do with these guys, right? So let's put down a combiner, and they might be carrying something. I don't know, we'll see. In theory, they should never be carrying anything, but we'll always just put in a little thing over here just in case they are. Get that divider in. Grab another trash can there, just in case. And then we'll get our elder trail going across here. So these are going to make inventor ants, right? And now our inventor ants need to partially go into some inventor towers, and then also partially go into some other things. So the inventor towers is going to be interesting. At the moment, we're just going to feed them this as a placeholder, but obviously, oh wait, no, we can feed them directly these things. All right, cool. So we'll just use this pile of food for now for the inventors. So essentially, we're going to build some inventor towers. We're going to use towers for everything because they're more efficient. Now, which way do they go? All right, that's the input. We want the feeding trail to be tight. So something like this. So let's just start with 4, but we'll leave room in the back for extensibility. Now the trail is still gonna need multiple dispensers, hopefully. How will that work? There's something like this. I mean, if the trail is tight enough, it doesn't really matter, right? I suppose. So then we get a hauling trail that's literally just this. And then that'll deliver food to the ants. Okay, now we need to get someone in there. That's kind of annoying to do. And I'm thinking fancy ants go in here to do this work, because fancy ants are fast and we need them to do something, right? So we need something to make a fancy ant every now and then. But we'll figure out that trail in a bit. For now, let's just get inventors going. So these guys are going to get old and they're going to become inventors, and they need to distribute to these trails. And if there's too many, or if there's already something on the trail, we might get them to go somewhere else. So what if I did something like this? If I get a divider that goes out this way and a divider that goes out this way, I'm going to test this trail and then we might end up rebuilding this somewhere else. And then they're going to go over here, and then they're going to try to go to here, and then they're going to try to go to here, and then they're going to go get recycled. If we don't want them lining up because they're going to be waiting and they're going to use up all their lifespan. So once you're done, if you really can't get anything done, then why don't you just go off and get yourself recycled, and then we'll see what comes out of there. Now that's for Inventor Ant 1s, but we obviously don't want to do this for Inventor Ant 2s, so we're going to figure out what's going on with Inventor Ant 2s. Give me 1 second. So let's just try out this system first and see if it works. Now I just want to manually make a princess ant first, because I feel like I'm wasting a lot of my dead ants down here. Oh, what's going on over here? We have run out of stuff. Scrap iron. Where are my scrap iron piles? I have so many scrap iron piles, I don't know where they are. I think this is a scrap iron pile. It's got 160 there. Yeah, so I'm gonna just manually make one inventor ant, and then we're gonna watch it so it doesn't go in there, and we're just gonna manually combine it into a princess ant for now. It's gonna drop a combiner, say here. Doesn't really matter. I'm gonna need to make princesses, and I'm gonna need 1 drone. I really need to put a bin somewhere. I'm gonna get him to drop off his stuff and then go over here and don't die. Oh, the inventor's almost about to go into the tower. You're gonna go into here. And then once the princess ant comes out, you're just gonna head over into here. There you go, because I got a bunch of these pod workers that are wasting all my light bulbs. Gonna send them into this divider so they can get renewed. I don't want to waste all my light bulbs. Oh, what happened to my collider over here? I think I accidentally moved it for this setup. We'll let that system run and saturate for a bit. I think I've got way too many ants turning into these things relative to everything else. Oh, also I need a gene tower. Alright, cool. So it's going to take a while for these old ants to be old. So I'm going to let that run for a little bit. The only other thing that we need to start setting up is the iron worker. I might get my iron worker to go in here is probably a good idea. So I'm thinking with these old ants, instead of always going into here, maybe some of them can become iron workers. Because we could use the iron workers from here, but I kind of want to keep my research system independent to this. So when I tune the research system, say I need a bunch more fancy ants or whatever, I don't have to pull a bunch more iron workers from this trail, keep them separate. So we'll get an assembler going over here, and they will be responsible for making iron workers. And we'll just grab it from the stockpile here. But we don't want many iron workers. Let me move my divider over here, and then we'll do another trail there. After you've dropped off your stuff, I'm going to put a timer gate, and then we can control that timer of how many fancy ants we get. But now that iron worker, we'll do every, 30 seconds. We'll do every, how long does an iron worker live? We just want one iron worker. So they live for about 10 minutes. So we'll go every 8 minutes, right? So they're going to make iron workers, and I'm going to send my iron workers temporarily into this trail. If I can even get it into there. Am I going to be able to get it into here? Can I move this like one tile over? So there's a little bit of finessing to get that into there. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. So it sent out an iron worker, and that iron worker is going to be responsible for grabbing energy orbs and feeding the actual inventors. It's going to take like 10 minutes for the inventors to actually do stuff. Now these guys, I got 10 billion pod workers. Yeah, I got way too many pod workers relative to all the other cocoon stuff, eh? So I'm going to slow this trail down because I don't want to waste all my light bulbs, even though I got a billion light bulbs. So that's coming from this trail, and we've currently set it to 3. I'm just going to set it to like 2. So off they go, all of the pod workers. Now we need all of our other ants. I think I've got most things in the correct proportions. And obviously these workers, I haven't set up the old gates over here for, so I'm going to set these guys up as well. That way all the old workers can come out here. So I'll be right back when that's done. I'll come and talk about it. All right, this collider row has old gates coming out now, so they should go into the gene cocoon. Now that is reasonably automated, I guess. Let's have a look at when my next inventor ant comes out. I might send another one down here to get to turn into something. Might get this guy over here to be our drone, and then we'll grab the next inventor ant that comes out. Eventually we'll have an inventor ant. Don't worry, these guys are slowly dying now. So I think 5 is okay for now, but eventually we need to get like a lot on this trail. And then we're going to figure out what to do with all of them, because a lot of them are just going to become inventor ants for no reason. But I suppose then they're being recycled into energy orbs, right? So that's not a real big problem either. Just got to wait for a bit for the set system to saturate itself. So I'll be back when everything is working. All right, we've got our first inventor ant coming out of here now. So this is going to be a continuous stream of ants now. And then they're going to go into the inventor pad. I really want to see what an energy orb 4 gives it, because I don't know if we want to use energy orb 4s here. So here it is. It's climbed up to the top of the inventor tower, and 1 energy orb gives it 10. I hope that's not overkilling it. I hope it is actually 10. I really should test it with a lower energy orb, because like if these give 20 each, I don't want them to like feed an energy orb to the queen, unless it does it cleverly. I don't know. We'll have to see. I need more data points. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the fancy ants as well to get inventor ant 2s while we're at it. We're going to have to tune all these numbers at some point, but for now we can set up the framework for what we want to do. We'll get ourselves another combiner. We probably want to combine it this way to get them to the trail as quickly as possible. So something like this, then we can get the old gate up this way, older trail, and then we'll get a divider that goes here and here, and then over here we can put a little timer gate, and we go like say every, let's just start with 10 minutes as a baseline. So every 10 minutes send one of my inventor ants up this way. We'll do it after this next inventor ant comes out. So I want to test the energy orb thing. Is this holding an energy orb? Oh, we got a nuptial flight manually triggered. Yeah, this is looking good. I just got way too many of these guys. Oh crap, I need another princess. I'm sorry, I can't test my inventor ant theory. I need more princesses. These guys are about to be done very soon. I will actually send some more onto this trail to sort of simulate. So if we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 things here, we probably need about 10 ants on this trail. Well, we need as many ants on this trail as this trail. And how many ants did we send onto this trail? 15. Well, let's just start with 10 and see how we go. We've got 59 screws, so we need like hundreds of screws to get this working. That's fine. Slowly processing away all of our scrap metal. We should probably get some digger ants working as well. I kind of want digger ants doing some stuff as well. But where can I get my digger ants from? Maybe we can turn some of these guys into digger ants. So if we switch this guy back to 3, getting too many things happening at the same time, confusing me. We'll get that going to 3, and since we've got way too many of these, we'll get some of these guys to become digger ants. So I'm going to move my thing over here. We're just going to replace this trail. Then we're just going to get a divider, and we're just going to get some of them temporarily to become digger ants. Like half of them, because we've got way too many of these dudes. Well, it doesn't help that some of my ants are dying. Sorry, we're back to manual intervention days now. Am I missing one of these dudes? Yeah. Get in there. Oh, crap. Get in there. Alright, so these guys are going to be temporary digger ants. So, oh man, that's going to use up all my screws too. But it shouldn't use up too many. All these temporary things are turning into a bit of a permanent base, aren't they? So off you go. You're going to go digging. And we're just going to get you digging these things. Let me set up a quick digger trail. God, these are hard to set up when they're on a plant. You can hold control and then it'll stop snapping to the grid. Standard digging trail, and we'll just get them to stockpile it somewhere. What's this one linked to at the moment? That one? That's fine. We'll just use that one then. Go, start digging out this crap for me so I can have more building space. Alright, what's going on over here? We have no wrong cast. Alright, that's fine. Get all of those guys in. I think I want to put you here. Alright, cool. This thing looks like it's going alright. And I think once I've split off half the ants over here to become digger ants, maybe we'll get the right amount of these pod workers, because currently we're getting way too many. These guys are all good. They're just sitting there generating points for me. And did we ever make it? Is this guy a new guy? What happened to my old guy? He died. Because I never set the damn recipe. We want to combine this into a fancy ant? Oh, wait, it's not a combine. Is a fancy ant not a combine? Oh man, I'm missing a step, damn it. Hold on. We're missing a step. Let me fix that up. Oh, we wasted an energy orb. What happened? I just clicked an energy orb. You can click stuff on the ground and it picks it up? What happened? What? That was weird. Also, I'm out of fabric. But I'm not out of fabric, I'm just out of this fabric. I've got plenty of fabric here. So let me just reassign this to use real fabric. All my little temporary setups are creating a lot of manual intervention required, but we're slowly going to automate all this episode, I promise. So here's our energy orb, dude. They're collecting energy. I wonder when these guys pop, do you get the 10 energy as well? I'd love to see that. But anyway, we're distracting ourselves. We need our fancy ant. We already wasted our last iron worker, so let's not waste the next one. So, we need an assembler, I believe. Now, space is a little bit tight, but don't worry about that for now. We'll just put it there. And here we can make our fancy worker. And we need our LEDs. We've got 20 LEDs. We'll obviously create more LEDs one day. But that's a whole involved process in itself. So let's just get the structure of this process done first. And I'd love the fancy worker to do some work. But I think they should just become Inventor Ant 2s. Because it's getting too complicated. So essentially we need another combiner here now. And I want to face it this way so that the ant has the least amount of travel time. And I'll restructure all of these combiners at some point for it to make a little bit more sense. But let's just get the process sorted first. So basically one of these ants is going to be this. And then we need a timer gate. Now that we have a bunch of these ants, we need a timer gate. And say every 10 minutes we'll make another one of these. I don't want it to go there. I don't want it to go there. Let me just start with 10 minutes. And one inventor ant is going to go into there. How's my manual gene cocoons going? They're going okay. And then we need something for our princess ant too. So like every 10 minutes we need to like send a drone and a princess ant over. But we'll worry about that in a bit. For now, let's see if we can get our inventor ant 2s happening again. So this whole episode is just going to be basically automating the rest of the processes on this base. Now we probably need a lot more screws now. How many digger ants are we getting? Like 2. Okay, that's going to be really slow. That's fine. Probably need to get another princess soon. So I might intercept this guy after it triggers my timer gate. So this drone can go become a princess. And then this thing's triggered my timer gate, but I'm going to go send you to be a princess first. So I might just set my other gates up as well while I'm here. So we'll get another timer gate. Probably from here as well. Can we get a second timer gate? Yeah, these trails are getting a little bit crazy, but that's fine. This timer gate is going to go down here and make princesses. And we want to set this to every, say, 10 minutes. And this one over here, we might send an... Wait, where's the older... These guys are just going to die most of the time. But we'll send some of them to go... We'll just put a timer gate. No need to complicate things because this stuff is still temporary. So we'll just put a timer gate over here for every 10 minutes as well. And then we'll send the ant over here to become the other part of the princess. There we go. Now at least the princesses is semi-automated while I sort stuff out. Ah, here we go. So this old ant that came over here needs to drop his energy orb. And now you're going to become our first fancy ant. And I might just send you over here for now because I screwed up the timing of this. But this timer should be very, very similar to this guy's timer. No, 10 minutes. I think. I don't know. This is all very complicated. Also, we might put a storage in here temporarily because we know these guys are going to be dropping off energy orb 4s. Because he's always going to have an energy orb 4 in hand and it feels like a waste to throw them in the bin. But I can't fit anything here. Oh man. Why have I built this all so tight? But we're going to explore this concept, and if this concept works out for us, we might just move all these processes somewhere else. That makes more sense. Now, at the moment, I'm sending drones out this way as well. But actually, I should probably use the ones on this one to make this. Because at the moment, there's like way too many. Like, I don't need 10 billion drones on this path supplying the stuff, right? So we might move this system a little bit out of the way and then we'll restructure the base. Well, this part of the base anyway. But I want to see if this works. So once you're out, oh crap, don't waste your life. We need to get you like straight into there and then into an inventor tower too. And then I can test whether how much energy these blue things actually give. Looks like we're finally getting a good saturation of these ants now. So yeah, they give 10, which is perfect. So we want to use energy orb 4s here, because then they will immediately get full and then these guys will pretty much get full straight away. And then boom, he's still got 7 minutes of his life and he's going to be generating all of our Inventor 2 points. So that works out really nicely. And I don't know, given how many Inventor Ant 2 points we need, we can tune how often this happens by looking at these Inventor Ants. So now we're seeing a bigger saturation of these Inventor Ants. It's kind of working out for us. So we're going to let that saturate a little bit more and then we're going to set up these colliders. And in the meantime, we can probably figure out how to sort these guys out because we don't need 10 billion drones. We'll figure out what we're doing on this island. Look how many ants we have on this trail doing absolutely nothing. So we'll figure that part out as well. And when I'm done with that, I'll come back and talk about it. So we're going to make some major changes to our base very soon. I just want to mine out the rest of this stuff over here. Why is there only one digger ant working here now? It's 3 digger ants. But yes, this is almost done. I'm going to get rid of the rest of the glass from here, here, and here. So there's only 3 more glass piles. And when that's done, we can pause operations on the desert island for a little bit. We'll leave all our buildings here because that's still good. But what we'll end up doing is we'll start operations on our new island with all the glass. And that'll be like our permanent base for glass. So we've been waiting to get rid of all of this glass. And once that's all done, we can start setting up on the new island. But this system is working fantastically. See how this ant now is a tier 2 ant? it's going to come out over here, and then it's going to go into this thing, hopefully. Oh, it's going to go into this thing. That's fine. One or the other. But the other old Inventor Ant 2 just died, so that's perfect. So as long as there's a spot for the Inventor Ant 2 in here, then we're all good. And we can see we're generating both the points now, so that's fantastic. And we're not using up hardly any energy orbs, so the system is working great. I know it's not perfectly optimal yet, but it is getting there. I promise it is getting there. Wait, why did you not go into the tower? Sorry, I think I didn't set that up properly, but if I have set that up properly, then it should go into the tower. There we go. And now we've got another Inventor Ant 2 ready to go. So this system works great. We can do better. I've got some ideas on how we're going to do it better. First of all, we don't want to cram all our stuff in here, so we know what machines we need. And with the ant towers, we're going to do this trail where basically it's going to be a row of towers for Inventor Ant 1s. And then when they go past the Inventor Ant 1 tower, then they're going to go into Inventor Ant 2. They're going to become an Inventor Ant 2. Then we're going to make a row of Inventor Ant 2 towers. And then they're going to, that way we can much easier control like what ants go into what tower, basically is what I'm trying to say. And we can expand the number of towers as well. So I'm going to go restructure that very soon. We got to wait for all of our glass to be finished, and then we'll go ahead and do that. It's almost done. 28 left here. These guys are done, so we can get rid of this. You can just delete this stockpile and it should go into this stockpile. These guys are done as well, so we can delete this stockpile and we can delete that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We just gotta wait for these 24 to be done. How's the base going over here? Everything looks pretty good. We're getting not enough of these now, but that's fine. I don't really care about that. We're getting some gene points just in the background while we're setting all this up. But while that's being set up, we can start setting up operations on this side of the island. So we need a launch pad first of all. So we need to get a couple of iron plates over. So let me start setting this up. Oh, we can just move the stuff over this side, honestly. In fact, we can probably cut this trail. I think we've got enough ants over there working. Yeah, there's only 16 more glass. I'm sure they can do that in their lifetime. It'd be funny if there's like one glass left. Anyway. With that trail cut, we can move all this stuff over. We don't need to send any more of these dudes over anymore. So we can essentially take this entire system and just move it over to this side somewhere. It's going to put it down here so I can structure it properly. And get rid of all of this stuff. And then we'll do something with the recycler. And when that's out of the way, we can rebuild this as well. So let's get glass going again. You know the setup, it's basically going to be all the same stuff. I already got some drones here conveniently. And once we're set up on this island, I'll come and talk about it. It's going to be pretty interesting setting up on this island because apparently it's toxic. And being toxic, it's going to kill some of our ants. So when that's set up, we'll start sending them over and seeing what that actually does. I think down here is probably the closest flight path back and forth. We'll need to set up a catapult and all the stuff for a catapult as well. So I'm going to do all that and then I'll come back and talk about it. Alright, very basic starting setup. We've just got our assembler over here. I've got a little timer gate. It's set to 10 minutes because I pretty much, when the system is set and done, I just want one drone in here. But for now, we'll just manually control it while we get the initial setup going. Because we need to get some like plates and stuff onto this side of the world to even get the launch pad sorted. So we're going to send 1, 2 plates. And then that should... Alright, I screwed it up. But anyway, these two will get to the right one. And then once we get our first 2 plates, we should be able to immediately build ourselves a launch pad. And with the launch pad, it can start heading back. Now we can see also what is going on with these ants. Are they dying faster? It says something about toxic, but I'm not seeing anything be toxic. And then they can fly back. And I need another 2 plates to build my lava storage. So 2 plates and then 5 cloth. So I'm going to prepare my cloth. It's going to have to like manually do some stuff for now. There's the 2 plates, and then you can have some extra plates, that's fine. And then we'll get the 5 cloth over. Move that one over there. Get another stockpile going. Just gonna check on all of this stuff is all going okay. I don't really care what's happening here. Everything should be fine. Need to start setting up on this island properly. Here comes the cloth. And that should get us our lava storage. Alright, so our lava storage is now done. We can now start sending some lava over and get them to do stuff. Essentially, we just want to make digger ants, right? But we probably want it to be a self-sustaining system. So the ants need to smelt the raw iron. So that means we need a recycler in here as well. So let's build ourselves a recycler. I don't know how much space I have here to do anything, but we essentially need a recycler on this island. I keep forgetting where the recycler is. It's always somewhere. It's a population item, isn't it? There we go, recycler. We need 10 concrete, 4 iron plates, and 10 copper wire. What is this thing? Ah, this is the toxic mold. Okay, I probably don't want to deal with the toxic mold right now, so I might just kill the toxic mold by putting a recycler here. You can't kill toxic mold. So what happens when you walk on toxic mold? I can't even build anything here. I'm just gonna put my recycler here and we'll deal with it in a second. How much toxic mold is it? 130 something. Does it need to be dug out? No, it's done by plant cutting. Can you guys plant cut? No, you can't. Okay, anyway, let's focus on the recycler. We need some more plates again. So let's get some more plates first. So much micromanaging to set up on a new island, but we'll do it one step at a time together. So there's all our plates. So let's get the plates out of the way first. And the next item on our agenda is concrete. And we do have some concrete spare on this island, I think. So we'll get our concrete in next. Set that to concrete and hopefully it'll start dropping off the 10 concrete we need. And then we need our copper wire last. So we'll go to our copper wire. We're actually running out of copper wire for some reason. What is using up my copper wire? Weird. Check on our desert island to see if all the glass is gone now. Fantastic, all the glass is gone. These guys are still slinging my glass. I think I'm gonna run out of glass at some point. This guy's not gonna sling glass back fast enough. That's fine, we've got plenty of glass on this island. And we're gonna change the glass production to be on this side now. So the concrete looks like it's almost done. Just one more, I think. 1, 2, 3, and then this guy's concrete, and then we'll switch it over to copper wire. Oh, this guy died, never mind. You can always borrow some drones from this side temporarily. Get things done a bit faster. Don't need 10 billion cloths. You just need one more concrete. Oh, I'm missing an iron plate, damn it. Alright, let me sort out the iron plate first. So we'll grab a concrete, we'll grab an iron plate, and then we'll get wire going. There we go. A lot of manual work to get it all started. A little bit annoying. So there's our concrete. We'll just quickly switch that to iron plate. And that guy can drop off his iron plate, and that's our iron plate done. And then we'll quickly switch all these to wire, and then we'll get our recycler in. So we need another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if this guy doesn't die, 6. Fantastic. All right, that's all of the stuff, hopefully, for our recycler. Great. I think next we need to transport at least a couple of screws to get the process started. So I'm just going to change this to hold screws for now. And then we'll get a couple of screws transported over just to get our process kick-started. Oh, we've got 124 screws. We're almost ready to set this up. We need about 160 or 180. So we'll get like 6 screws transported across, and then we can start setting up. Oh wait, we still need an actual assembler, don't we? Damn it. Can I even fit an assembler here? Oh, dude. This is a whole nother challenge. I can't even fit an assembler here. Alright, let's just get the materials across and then we'll figure it out. Alright, we need 10 screws and 10 plates for the assembler. So we'll get those transported across. And 20 fabric. That's a lot of material. It's gonna take a while. When that's done, I'll come and talk about it. You know what? Now I'm looking at this map. I don't think I have the space physically on the start of this island to set up the things that I need to set up. I might need to either fly them over onto this side. Yeah, I need to fly them over onto this side at some point. So we're gonna have to move everything across to somewhere where we have some room to do stuff. Oh, but then how do we sling it back with a catapult? We can't. Oh, we can, but then I have a change of plans. Okay, we're gonna have to carve some space into our island. So we need to initially dig out some of these, and this is gonna be a really long process. So let's rethink this process. I mean, this setup will eventually make sense. So let's just put all our buildings that we've moved over, because eventually we're gonna need this one day. It's gonna be a really long way from now. But what we're gonna do is we just want digger ants here. So, oh, how am I gonna get the digger ants here? And then they're just gonna die. So we're just gonna be constantly wasting screws. Oh, that's super annoying. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this without wasting too many screws. All right, let me play around with a setup and then I'll come back and talk about it. Alright, took about 30 minutes, but check it out. We finally got all the components we need to build onto our toxic mold island, or our polluted island, I believe it's called. Got our assembler to make our iron worker ants. We've got a workshop that's going to make our screws. Then we've got our smelter that's going to smelt the iron. We've got our recycler that's going to, do the recycling stuff. And we've got a catapult to bring everything back. I've also tested what the toxic mold does. If you stand on it too long, you get irradiated and then you get a sickness. And then when that sickness bar ends, your ant, I guess, just dies. So now we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with all this stuff. So I'm just going to let a couple more screws come over. I think that should be enough. 3 screws to get us started. That's 3 digger ants. Fantastic. All right, now we can move some stuff around. So this landing pad, we're going to get it to land, I guess, try to shorten the flight path as much as we can. Then as soon as they land, they need to drop off their thing into our lava storage. Or if they're just landing and then storing the lava, does that need to be here? We can actually probably just put it here, right? Shorten that flight path. So they're gonna go store that lava. We're gonna use as much teleporty magic as we can. Then that lava storage is gonna go over here, dispense a lava. Oh crap, I'm missing an incubator. Incubator. Damn it. One more thing to do. All right, I'll be back when I have enough materials for an incubator. Annoyingly, it's just these scraps, but I don't have any scraps. So I'm gonna just quickly do that. 1 second. Same setup, I haven't changed anything. I don't have a thing for scrap, do I? Get a stockpile in there, and then we just get some more scrap going. It's gonna take a while to get that scrap over, but when that's done, I'll come back and we'll continue building. Alright, I think I got my stuff for the incubator. Now I need to send one of my ants across. Now I'm just gonna cheat this time around. First, I'm gonna get some lava stored. So we're just gonna grab our lava. One of these is lava. So I don't want my guy dying of toxic mold. So we're gonna grab a lava, maybe grab 2 lava, and just chuck it into the lava storage. Or grab 3 lava, sure. Plenty of lava. Alright, so we've got a bunch of lava in here now, and we've got a dispenser for the lava. I just want to wait for one of my flying ants to get here so that I can teleport it to the other side without going through the toxic mold, because if it walks through the toxic mold, it's gonna just die. Alright, so it's on the landing pad now. So I'm gonna move my landing pad to this side of the world. Nope, that didn't work. Try again. Alright, now it's on the landing pad. I should be able to move it to this side of the world. Yeah, there we go. I teleported my ant. Oh, we've got 2 of them now. Fantastic. Now we're gonna move them back. Wait, I have to get them off the platform first. Let me get a null trail out of there. There we go. We've got 2 ants out of here now. Skip the toxic mold. We'll put this back, complete the loop, so they can keep bringing new lava storage over. New lava over. Now, with that lava storage, we need the lava to be turning into something. So I guess I'll put my trail over here because we need to get some ants over here to do the catapulting. So here we're going to store the lava like maybe here, and then we'll build the loop. I'll just do something like that. Gotta use as much space as possible because space is a premium over here. This is not right. Don't know how to build all this stuff. So we'll get a hauling trail on this side. We'll get you to go over here and start spawning ants. Then we need an ant holding trail. So we'll build a null trail out of here. And then this will be our holding trail for the ants. It doesn't need to be big because I plan to not have many ants here. Now the ants are first going to work these smelters and stuff. So I'm going to just move this out of the way. So it's going to go work the smelter. So we need a smelter for this stuff. So we don't have any of this stuff yet, but that's fine. It will eventually come. So we'll just build it in theory. Now, where is this thing coming from? It's coming from a recycler. So at some point, oh man, everything is backwards. Okay, let me figure this out. So we need a storage stockpile for, well, this one's already storing that. This one's already storing that. So this stockpile is going to be storing the these things, the scraps. The scrap is going to be then smelted into, I'm going to move these back a little bit. The scrap is going to be smelted into stuff. So we're going to get a hauling trail like this. And then that's going to be smelted into iron. I think this is just called iron, right? Yeah. So we'll get our iron in here. Then the iron is going to be turned into screws. So we'll get a dispenser over here, our workshop over here, and then we'll get another hauling trail that goes like this. Then we will get our dispenser for screws over here, or our stockpile for screws, I should say. Now that should make screws. So then those screws need to then become digger ants. I'll just leave that for there for now. We'll set up our counter gates to go into each one of these. We just want one ant in either one of these. Then we need some old gates coming out of here. So we'll get an old gate coming out of here, an old gate coming out of here, an old gate coming out of this trail as well. Something like that. And then these old ants are going to go and turn into our diggers. Something like that. It's going to be a little bit messy for now. Oh, we need a bin. How much does a bin cost? Bins are not cheap. We need 4 plates. So I'm going to need you guys to keep working for a bit. Get some plates over. Might bring some extra plates in case I need extra bins. There's our plate dispenser. So we'll let that run while it does it. And then this old trail is going to go through a bin and then into this thing. There's like barely any room to do anything. And then we're going to go dig this thing out. So I want to dig this one out because that one will create a safe path through the back. So this is going to be priority. I'm just going to make a bunch of digger trails. Just in case we get more than 6, get it dug out fast. This thing has like 1,000 glass in it. So it's going to be a while. We'll grab our divider. Then we'll grab our hauling trail back. None of this is going to be pretty. We just need it to work for now. We're almost there. All right, cool. So check it out. These ants are doing their thing. So they're going to go make diggers eventually when they get old. It's going to be a while before they get old. Now, in terms of hauling this stuff over, we want to make sure we have the right amount of dudes hauling it over. So I'm going to stop this from happening now. The trash can is built, right? Yep, cool. And then we're going to get this going again. I'll put this back here for now. Our digger ants are literally just going to do one job for now. So I'm not going to bother with any sort of weird trail. So I got an old trail going out here. And then the digger ants are going to drop off their glass into preferably a large stockpile. I think they're free as well. Okay, maybe we'll get it going around the other way because I can't fit a large stockpile into here. Well, I can. I just can't fit a trail between this and the large stockpile. Damn it. Can I fit this in here? Kind of. We'll just turn it this way then. So we'll get the elder trail coming in here. It's going to be a little bit messy for the time being until I get some of this stuff mined out. But they're going to go into here. And then we need an old trail to go into a recycler. That's probably the most important component to get this all cyclical. So let's get that old gate out of here. And then we'll get an elder trail going back into some sort of recycler. Can I fit the recycler in here? Not really. Oh man, the spacing in here is ridiculous. So I'll probably do the recycler something like this so that the old people can actually make it out. It's just going to be messy as hell, but it's just, as long as it functions, right? So the old digger ants are now going to come out of there. Now we definitely need one worker bee ant hauling out this way because that's the priority. You need to go over here as a priority when this ant dies. In fact, I can probably send this guy into the recycler manually. We'll end up getting a fabric too, but that's fine. Are you gonna live? Yeah, you should live. All right, so you're gonna go into the recycler. You're gonna get recycled. I think you can go into the recycler too. And then we need a trail for the recycling. So we're gonna get a hauling trail here. And then we're gonna get the stockpiles. So we definitely need this stockpile. I don't care about the fabric for now. But we need the scraps, and that closes the loop basically. Now that's all good, and now we need an ant to work this, so I need another counter gate. I have nowhere to do this. Oh my god, this turned out so messy. We'll get him to walk around the back. I need an ant working that trail as well to get the stuff in. And then obviously we need an old gate out of here as well. So after you've dropped your stuff off, we'll elder trail you back out this way too. There we go. We've closed the loop. Now you can make your own screws. So you're going to smelt, you're going to make your own screws. Screws are going to turn into this. And to close the thing, to bring all that glass back. Wait, why do I have this? I don't need this one. To bring the glass back, we're going to need to catapult it over. So we've got a catapult over here. Then this stockpile is going to need to have a thing here. We're going to need a hauling trail like this. Then we're going to need one more counter gate to go and work that. So we just need one ant going through this toxic mold. I'm going to try to cut through the toxic mold as quickly as possible, and hopefully the ant won't get irradiated going over there. Now we need more ants, so we need to start getting our ants over. We've got one drone at the moment, and that one drone is going to grab the ants from here. I think I've set it all up. We have to observe the system for a while to see if there's any issues. So I'm going to observe the system and I'll come talk about anything that's worth talking about. But here's our first digger ant, and they're going to slowly start digging away at these. And hopefully I've gotten enough initial screws to get this system going without any issues. And get another stockpile down for this fabric because it has picked up the fabric, unfortunately. But in theory, the only thing coming out of here should be iron scrap. Here comes our thing with our first new ant. And we'll see. So basically, this one drone is going to be responsible for transporting these things. So we'll see if one drone is enough or not. Oh, crap. Drop off your fabric. My old gate should be coming out of here. There we go. That way you won't ever have anything in your hand when you come in here. That's good, because I don't have anywhere to put the trash can. Well, I should really put the trash can like here, but that's fine. Alright, we've got a couple of digger ants. We are getting glass at last. And now we need to catapult this glass back. So we need to assign a target. So over here was our old glass catapult system somewhere. It was catapulting to this thing. So we'll just move this thing over to this side. And then we can assign that over there. And now we can catapult glass back. And now we have a flow of glass, but from the toxic mold island. Let's see if this guy got irradiated walking through there. No, it didn't. Good. Oh, old trail, old gate out of here. So after you've dropped off your thing, we want to old gate you out of there and you can become a digger as well. Now let's see if this one dude bringing over lava is perfect for this, or if we get a massive oversaturation of ants. It looks okay for now. Now, there's no point trying to get this old ant doing anything because he's just going to get old and die, right? There's nothing I can do for him. I don't think he's going to make it all the way back, so that'll just be a wasted ant. But that should also be fine. Now, as these 4 digger ants die, they should be supplying all of the scrap we need to make more screws. We'll have to observe the system. Let's just remember we have 3 screws here on this island for now. We'll observe this system and then we'll report back. In the meantime, we can focus back on our work on this system over here. So, oh god, yes, definitely need to focus on this system over here. Let me pick up some of this stuff. And we're gonna rework this. So it's gonna be the same system, but I'm just gonna do it better. And now that I have the room to do it better, I can do that. Because we don't need these recyclers over here anymore, because all of this is done. We'll just move that out of the way for now. I don't know what any of this was used for. And then we'll clean all this up, and now I have room to build. And room to build is very important because we're gonna move this system probably all the way out here somewhere, clear this area for shenanigans, and then we will clean it all up to get it a lot better. Alright, when that's done, I will come back and talk about it. So the first thing that I did was, since I had a bunch of screws, I thought I might as well set up this. We didn't quite have enough screws, but that's fine. It'll slowly do its thing. At least one side of it is finished setting up. And we can also do a thump because I just realized I have a billion of these nuptial dudes. So I think one tower is actually enough because in the time it takes this to do its thing, I think these 4 dudes will walk up the tower. Now, I'm going to continue to do this stuff. So with these set up, we're going to move some of these just into the open space over here so it's not so cramped, and make it so that it is expandable. I'm just going to wait for one of my ants to get into the towers so that it doesn't waste it. Oh, this one's trying to go be a princess. Fine, you go be a princess. Alright, cool. So I'm going to now redo this section. When it's done, I'll come and talk about it. Wait, before I go, since I spent so long doing that, let's go check in on this system to make sure it's still sustainable. We've got a bunch of digger ants over here. We've got no things over here, but we still have 3 screws. I think that's a good thing. Is this a positive cycle or not? I can't really tell. No, we have spare of these. Yeah, we just don't have an ant working this. So that means we're just short on ants. So this guy is just slightly too slow. Oh, no, he's not slightly too slow. I don't even have a drone over here. But one is coming. So we should be sweet, I think. Yeah, I think we're sweet. So I'm going to keep doing this system and then we'll keep fine-tuning stuff. Now, I'm kind of running out of ants on all of these trails, but I'm scared to go up to 25. I can very easily go up to 25. We've got so much spare food. Yeah, I don't know about that. Feel like it's just slightly under. So we might go up to stage 11. So we can very easily go up to stage 11 by taking one of these piles, not this, because we don't need that much stage 4 stuff. So maybe we'll just feed the queen or the stage 2 orbs. I feel like if we just feed the queen some stage 1 orbs, it will be enough. Let me move this to this side. And then what if we just feed it stage 1 orbs? Let's see if that's enough for it to do its thing. I think it is. I think the stage 1 orb is maintaining it, so the next time it gets a stage 4, a Mark 4 orb, it's just going to pop it over to 11, and then we're just going to get a slight surplus of ants, which is what we need. Yeah, we get drones over here. The drones will saturate this. These guys will start making screws, hopefully. Did a drone go over there? Yeah, it's dropping off lava now. Oh god. It dropped off a lava, but my thing died. All right. I need to just manually see. This is the thing. We want to make sure this cycle is stable. So the reason why that died is because there's an old gate coming out of here. So this guy's not working till the end of its lifespan, which means we need to set this timer gate to like maybe 8 minutes, or we'll go 7 minutes, right? So that we make sure there's a continuous drone on here. Remember, when you're setting up your old gates, it doesn't use up the whole life cycle of the ant. They leave at about here. So if you want one thing here, your timer needs to be accounting for that. I need to make sure that we get larvae on here. So this digger ant is just going to work this trail for now, I guess, until a larva comes out. A larva is coming out now. All right, you can go back to digging then. So the drone's coming out is going to be dropping off lava. All right, I think it's okay. We'll have to watch it again. But while we're doing that, we're going to set up this system over here. So for the 3rd time, hopefully for the final time, let's set up this system. All right, check it out. Here is our system, and I think it is now scalable. So it's the same system. I've just reordered things to make it a little bit more scalable. I mean, we will have to redo some of these trails as we expand, but that's fine. So here's what it does. We've got our ants coming into this trail, which we can control by this number, however many we want, to pick up all these orbs. Then they're going to get old and they're going to combine into regular workers. The regular workers are going to go work this trail and all of these colliders to make another set of orbs that we will use for something or other down the line. Then when they get old, they're going to come out and they're going to become inventors. Now here's where the better sort of optimized trail comes in. These inventor ants are going to walk down this trail and they're going to divide themselves into a row of inventor pads, however many we need to sustain whatever number we need to sustain. If we need to add more, we can add more. So then they're going to walk through here, and if they're full, that's fine. Then they're going to go turn into fancy ants. I'm just going to turn this one real quick. Why can't you go in there? There we go. So they're going to go into here to make inventor ant 2s, right? But sometimes these inventor ant 2s will be full, or like there'll be an inventor ant in here. So then they're going to continue along this trail and then they're going to go become a princess. So if that one's full, then they're going to go into a recycler and turn into an energy orb. How good is that? I think that's a fantastic system. It's got a sentry ant working the recycler for now because I can't be bothered sending an ant down here. I don't know where my recycler's ultimately going to be one day. But yeah, that's basically the system. And now we can see, based on an excess of energy orbs, whether we have too many inventors and whatnot. Now, the other side of the equation is we have a timer gate over here. So some of these ants will become a iron worker. The iron worker will go work the trail of delivering the food to our inventors. And then when that gets old, it's going to go out and then become a fancy ant. And that should only happen once every 8 minutes or so we don't drain all our light bulbs for now. But again, we can very easily tune this system by making more ants, I guess, over here, more ironworker ants. And then we've got our inventor ant 2s, and we've got designated platforms for them so that there will always be room on the platform for them. As soon as they get in, they're going to get priority into these 2 platforms. So we can now very easily scale and tune the system however we like. More importantly, while that's running, let's go check on these ants. We have a bunch of diggers, fantastic. All of these lines are now saturated. And do we have a huge excess of worms? We do not. They're empty. Fantastic. So this one guy is doing it perfectly. We've got only a couple minutes left on this timer. And if we look at the lifespan of this ant, that should be perfect. So that should, well, we might need to change that timer, but essentially that is perfect. So yeah, that's good. And now we're also on stage 11. So we should get a surplus of ants now, hopefully. We definitely have a surplus of ants. If we need more ants, we should put in a 4th thing here, 4th incubator, potentially. I feel like 4 is just too much. Did that work? I don't think that worked. You have to always redo your trail whenever you drop one of these dots onto the trail, and then it confuses all the ants temporarily. That's fine. I think this trail is too long for one dude to continuously work this, so we might need to send an ant over here at some point. Yeah, this trail is way too long for one dude. So we need to priority send an ant that way. I'm just going to move this trail out of the way. Let me just do it while paused. We'll get a counter gate over here. And I think we sent 10 ants here before. And now for the first time, we actually need new ants. That's crazy. Now we're getting another counter gate over here. And that's going to go into this trail. And we're going to send 2 ants on this trail at any given point in time. What's going on? So we'll send 2 ants on this trail at any point in time. That way we can have some excess ants. I'm just going to put a second ant here so that they can all spawn. This guy is not connected. Now we should have a huge surplus of ants, hopefully. We'll have to let that system saturate for a while because we're short on ants. But yeah, I think everything's going well. Check it out. We're generating plenty of inventor points. We've got gene points. We've got everything. We've definitely put ourselves in a really good position next episode to start making stuff. These guys are all good as well. Oh, everything is beautifully in balance at the moment. We got some digger ants getting rid of this stuff for us. Fantastic. Everything is going good. All right, we have put ourselves in a fantastic position. You might think, oh, well, you've basically just set yourself up to exactly where you were, you know, a while ago. But actually, we're a lot better off now. You'll just have to take my word for it. All right, we're going to leave the episode at that for this one. I think we are all good. Why am I short a princess? Ah, drones. Sorry, let me set up the drones as the final thing for this. So every 10 minutes, we will send a drone over here, or maybe like every 8 minutes. So we just get a timer gate. This is our very last thing. Which one's the path for the drones? I believe it's this one. So we'll get a timer gate going out this way, and then we'll link it up this way for now. Again, this princess thing is temporary, so I don't care about my trails being crazy. I just want to set it up. So every 10 minutes. I should get a drone to trigger this or something to trigger this because I just sent one over. I don't want another one going over anytime soon. Fantastic. All right. So everything should be good. Our new island is good. So we're getting continuous glass. We don't have to worry about glass ever again. We need this thing to be mined out ASAP. Are we getting too many digger ants? No, 6 is actually perfect. Oh, that's amazing. And we're slinging it back non-stop. Oh, nice. Everything is going really well now. All right. And we actually have an excess of ants over here. So we might need to gap this a little bit. Oh, where's my drone? Is this a new drone? Ah, it's perfect. There's only one drone on here anytime. Yes, okay, it's fine. There's a slight excess over here, but that's fine, whatever. Look at this. We're getting screw positive without any addition of metal. We're basically generating our own iron scrap. Which basically means, if you think about it, oh, it won't work here because they're being turned into genes. But on new islands, you can always be iron positive. That's pretty good. But we've done plenty this episode. We're going to have to focus next episode on increasing all of our production stuff. Like we need to make more screws, more everything. And we're going to have to start actually making light bulbs because at the moment we're not making light bulbs. That's going to be a whole another debacle because light bulbs are made from a bunch of other stuff. We might have to start thinking about setting up on this island as well, getting proper ants to the plants out of here, like out of these things, to get a proper fiber supply going, because at the moment our fiber is running out. Let me just fix that real quick while I'm here. So we'll do all that next episode, plenty to do, and we've set ourselves up ready for progression. I believe the next step of progression is to unlock up this way, right? So we've revealed the toxic wasteland. We need to collect some mold spores. We're trying to get to the ion worker ant. Where is the ion worker ant? I've lost it. Wait, did we already unlock the ion worker ant? I just realized my instinct has changed. I'm on instinct 32. When did we unlock the ion worker ant? I'm so confused. Our instinct was, did a patch change something? I swear I was going crazy. I'm like, where is the ion worker ant? Okay, so they've changed the name of the ion worker ant to the battery worker ant. So we need to progress up this way. We need to get to a population of 300 ants, it looks like. And we're at 188, that's terrible. But yeah, we can very easily manipulate the population using light bulbs and setting up some stuff. Like, I think once we set up our all our other working trails, we're definitely going to hit a population of 300 ants. That's not a problem. We also got to start working with these tier 2 small workers. I don't actually know if that's necessary. Maybe this just unlocks that way. But yeah, you can't tell on the tree whether which way it goes and stuff. But it looks like it wants us to go towards the toxic mold spore area, so we're gonna start doing that, and then we're gonna start making these hazmat ants and all that stuff. A lot of fun stuff coming up, so it looks like we're definitely gonna go set up on the toxic mold island next episode to progress our thing, and hopefully that'll get us to our 300 ants on our base colony. But we'll leave it here this episode. We've done plenty. If you don't want to miss out on what we're doing next, don't forget to leave a like and sub, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.